Hello. We would like to acknowledge the presence of our guest, Mr. Christopher J. Ribiswal. Good morning, sir, and welcome to our program.
Good morning.
First and the truth comes second. Just stop for a minute and smile.
Good morning, everyone.
Behold the Filipino imagination. The wellspring of creativity and expression of a people bounded together by a common past, a limitless source of inspired thoughts and feelings that nourish the people's sense of pride and identity as a nation. Imagination is the soul of a people's culture and art. The boundless energy that transcends time and events and allows itself to be molded into an instrument of greatness. It is towards this vision of a nation united and empowered by culture and arts. The National Commission for Culture and the Arts was created. Recognized as the policy-making institution that coordinates national efforts to promote culture and arts. The NCCA conserves Filipino heritage, preserves tradition, and integrates it into the cultural mainstream, promotes artistic development, and disseminates products of art and culture nationwide and beyond. Formerly known as the Presidential Commission for Culture and the Arts, the NCCA became a national commission under the Office of the President through Republic Act No. 7356, signed on April 3, 1992. As the lead government agency for culture, it administers and coordinates the activities of its 6 attached cultural agencies: the National Museum, the National Library of the Philippines, the National Historical Commission of the Philippines, the Cultural Center of the Philippines, the National Archives of the Philippines, and the Commission on the Filipino Language. It likewise administers the National Endowment Fund for Culture and the Arts, or NEFCA, established to support art and cultural programs of the country. Communities. The Subcommission on the Arts gathers together the 7 national committees on architecture, cinema, dance, dramatic arts, literary arts, music, and visual arts. Finally, ensuring the nationwide promotion of art and culture. The Subcommission on Cultural Dissemination combines the three national committees on communication, cultural education, and language and translation, taking charge of the daily operations and implementation of plans approved by the Commission. Is the Secretariat, headed by the NCCA Executive Director. Today, the NCCA takes with a new symbol of greatness, the Alam ng Haraya logo, dedicated, forward-looking, united in purpose. Behold the Filipino imagination, the burning flame of creativity that reflects the immense passion and greatness emanating from every cultural product crafted and preserved by the Filipino people. This is the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, keeping the flame of imagination forever burning for today's empowering Filipino. Behold the Filipino imagination. The wellspring of creativity and expression of a people bounded together by a common past. A limitless source of inspired thoughts and feelings that nourish the people's sense of pride and identity as a nation. Imagination is the soul of a people's culture and art. The boundless energy that transcends time and events and allows itself to be molded into an instrument of greatness. It is towards this vision of a nation united and empowered by culture and arts. The National Commission for Culture and the Arts was created. Recognized as the policy-making institution that coordinates national efforts to promote culture and arts. The NCCA conserves Filipino heritage, preserves tradition, and integrates it into the cultural mainstream, promotes artistic development, and disseminates products of art and culture nationwide and beyond. Formerly known as the Presidential Commission for Culture and the Arts, the NCCA became a national commission under the Office of the President through Republic Act No. 7356, signed on April 3, 1992. As a lead government agency for culture, it administers and coordinates the activities of its 6 attached cultural agencies: the National Museum, the National Library of the Philippines, the National Historical Commission of the Philippines, the Cultural Center of the Philippines, the National Archives of the Philippines, and the Commission on the Filipino Language. It likewise administers the National Endowment Fund for Culture and the Arts, or NEFCA, established to support art and cultural programs of the country. The NCCA is governed by a Board of Commissioners composed of 11 representatives of the legislative and executive branches of the government and 4 representatives from the private sector. Fulfilling the NCCA's mission to conserve heritage, the Subcommission on Cultural Heritage works with the 6 national committees on archives, art galleries, historical research, libraries and information services, monuments and sites, as well as museums. The Subcommission on Cultural Communities and Traditional Arts takes charge of preserving and integrating traditions in 3 national committees representing the Northern Cultural Communities, Central Cultural Communities, and the Southern Cultural Communities. The Subcommission on the Arts gathers together the 7 national committees on architecture, cinema, dance, dramatic arts, literary arts, music, and visual arts. Finally, ensuring the nationwide promotion of art and culture, the Subcommission on Cultural Dissemination combines the 3 national committees on communication, cultural education, and language and translation, taking charge of the daily operations and implementation of plans approved by the Commission. Is the Secretariat, headed by the NCCA Executive Director. Today, the NCCA takes on the challenge of the new millennium with a new symbol of greatness, the Alam ng Haraya logo. Dedicated, forward-looking, united in purpose. Behold the Filipino imagination, the burning flame of creativity that reflects the immense passion and greatness emanating from every cultural product crafted and preserved by the Filipino people. This is the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, keeping the flame of imagination forever burning for today's empowering Filipino.
Good morning po. Paki-enable mo share screen. Sir, I just made you a co-host po for you to be able to share your screen po. Thank you, sir.
Okay, time check. It's already 10:31 and we intend to finish by 12. So can we start the program rolling?
Baga nalinisan niyo.
May we remind the participants that we are already streaming live and please observe our virtual etiquette or netiquette. So I turn you over to the first group.
Nasaan yung cellphone ano ko? Yung instant ng cellphone. Akin na to.
So can we have Miss Adonna and Miss Angeline to proceed with the program?
Okay. As we are
We are
about to
about to
begin,
begin.
just a
If
few
you reminders
reminders during our
our
Zoom
Zoom
meeting.
meeting.
Kindly
Kindly
mute
mute
your
your microphone.
microphone, turn
Turn
off
off
your
your
camera.
camera.
If you
If
have
you have
important concerns,
concerns,
you can
you can
chat.
chat.
You
You
can
can
use the
use the
chat
chat box.
box. And
And
last,
last,
stay
stay
seated
seated
and
and
stay
stay present.
present.
Yes, sir. Good morning po. Again, as we are about to begin our program,
Okay. As we are about to begin, just a few minute reminders. During our Zoom meeting, kindly unmute your microphone. Turn off your camera. If you have important concerns, you can use the chat box. And lastly, stay seated and stay present. So to acknowledge the presence of our guests, Dr. Rex Emmanuel Asuncion and Mr. Christopher Revistual, good morning. We would
Good
like to extend a
morning.
very warm welcome. We appreciate you taking time of your busy schedules to join us today.
Thank you for the invitation.
Understanding languages and other cultures build bridges. It is the fastest way to bring the world closer together and to truth. Through understanding, people will be able to see their similarities before differences, according to Suzy Kazim.
Today, we will witness the presentation of the four groups who work hard and exert their effort. Welcome to our Foreign Language 2 SIMA presentation and Jishu to Chizu, Knowing Your Own Culture. I am Angeline Pilanjana,
And I am Madonna Argadinera.
your master of ceremony for today. To start our program, let us ask the guidance of the Holy Spirit to make our program fruitful and meaningful, followed by the national anthem to be presented by Mr. Vince Justin Madriaga.
Thank you, ma'am. So, on that note, allow me to share my screen for the preliminaries.
Almighty Father, once again we are gathered before Thee to serve and fulfill Thy will. We thank Thee for guiding us and keeping us safe and free from harm, and for giving us graces and stability. Grant us a peaceful mind and a warm heart, that we may think, decide, and act in complete unity and harmony. Light our paths, that we may walk in faith, honor, and righteousness, worthy of Thy trust. Bless this institution, that it may grow and develop according to Thy plan. Enlighten our thoughts, so that we may best serve the college and the province in the spirit of public service. We pray that all the members of Marinduque State College family live each day of our lives in accordance to Thy words, will, and conviction, and may the guidance and love forever be upon us. We ask these in the name of our Lord Jesus. Amen.
So that's it po for the preliminaries.
To formally begin this program, I would like to call on Mrs. Joanne P. Ramiro for her opening remarks.
So at this juncture, allow me to share my screen again for Ma'am's opening remarks. Yes, sir. Thank you po kay Sir Mark Montemayor sa pagpapahiram po ng account niya for our Zoom hosting today.
Duque State College. To the Associate Professor of Marinduque State College, at the same time the lead mapper of GASAN mapping team, Dr. Rex Emmanuel L. Asuncion, to Professor Christopher J. Rivestual, to our Professor and Director of Marinduque State College Culture and Arts, ladies and gentlemen, a blissful morning to each and everyone. It is my pleasure to say a few words in today's special event, the highlight of our collaborative efforts and contributions to make this activity possible. I thank God for His blessings, which enables us to be here together in this virtual place via Zoom. On behalf of the foreign language students, I would like to take this opportunity to express our deepest gratitude to our subject professor, Dr. Randy T. Nobleza, for the knowledge he imparted to us and giving us a chance to explore and discover how interesting it is to learn Japanese language and our culture as well through cultural mapping. To formally open this significant virtual culminating activity, I am very pleased to welcome everyone and at the same time to commend all the participants for being here today. As we face the challenges and constraints brought about the pandemic, let the spirit of resilience and power of knowledge be the culture of everyone's endeavor. Thank you and good morning once again.
So that's it for Ma'am Ramiro's. Ma'am Ramiro's opening remarks po.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that wonderful remarks. And now let us hear a message from our professor, director of the MEC Centro ng Wika at Kultura and coordinator of Marinducanon Cultural and Arts Studies, Dr. Randy T. Nobleza.
Ohio minasan. I hope you can see my slides and you can also hear my voice clearly. So I'm just going to share with you the slides that I presented during the Centennial Week. So from February 20 to 24, the Marinduque provincial government organized a series of activities, and one of the activities is the Forum on Cultural Properties. So let me present this so that we be guided accordingly with our cultural mapping presentation this morning. So as said by our good MC, that I am also the head of the Culture and Arts unit. but also I am the director of the Sentro ng Wika at Kultura. So apart from that, there are some additional functions that we have. So Marinduque State College is also the Cultural Center of the Philippines, conduit in the region as kaisa sa Sining Regional Arts Center. Also, as mentioned, the Sentro ng Wika at Kultura is a regional arm of the National Cultural Agency Commission sa Wikang Filipino. And the reason why we have this content like Sir Montemayor and Sir Vince, they are also scholars of the graduate diploma in cultural education. So this is funded by the National Commission for Culture and the Arts. So moving on, so I just gloss over the contents. I would not be presenting all of it, but let me focus on the salient points in the inventory and cultural mapping, which GASAN is already undertaking since February 8 to 12. But long before, Dr. Rex has always been into cultural work. So just a review. That's why our Culture and Arts Office is veering towards Kalinangan and culture, because we also have our own appreciation of culture. So from the Dictionary of Anthropology, authored by E. Taylor and Seymour Smith and Macmillan, published in 1986, culture is the complex whole which includes knowledge, beliefs, arts, morals, laws, customs, and any other capabilities and habits acquired by a human as a member of the society. That's what culture is, but it would be much contextualized if we try to understand what Kalinangan is in our own context. So next is the definition of heritage lifted from our National Cultural Heritage Act of 2009, which refers to the totality of cultural property preserved and developed through time and passed on to posterity. Again, it would be much better if we try to take a look at heritage at our own perspective. So heritage is pamana in Tagalog. In Ilocano, it's tawid, and its Visayan translation could be handumanan. So moving on. So also based on the particular section of the RA 10066, cultural property shall refer to all products of human creativity by which a people and a nation reveal their identity, whether public or privately owned, movable or immovable, and tangible or intangible. Earlier, we have the presentation with the Quezon group. So they already have the inventory with their Philippine Registry of Cultural Property. So in the earlier part of the foreign language course in the EDM01, Sir Toffers is very familiar with this, and so as Dr. Rex. So we already conducted the inventory, and now we are going to present the cultural mapping forms out of that inventory. So the output of that particular process of the Registry of Cultural Property is inventory. But on the other hand, cultural mapping as an approach or the process used to identify, record, and use cultural resources and activities for building communities. Communities map what is important to them. So since I am from another place, earlier Quezon is also stone throws away from Marinduque, but still we have a deep connection. So since the Philippines is celebrating its quincentennial year in 2021 this year, so we are celebrating the victory of the Battle of Mactan. And so we are undergoing cultural mapping and inventory. So as you know, foreign language and other courses in the graduate school is only taken in 7 meetings or less. So that's why the process of cultural mapping is also appropriated accordingly. So it begins with scoping, then social preparation, and what GASAN had last February 8 to 12 is the training of local mappers. And what proceeded after that, and I was able to join Sir Rex and the mappers from GASAN during the preliminary data gathering in the islets of Gaspar, Melchor, and Baltasar. And what they're going to do before Sir Topher edits the CMAP forms is we're going to try data validation and report the draft proposal on or before April 15. And by then, we'll be able to turn over the finished product, which is the local culture profile. So the pre-cap, what we had in the EDM01 class is going to be part of the list. So there's a patalaan. So it's a list of cultural properties verified and validated by the respective cultural agencies such as National Archives, National Historical Commission, National Library, and National Museum in coordination with the NCCA. So just to wrap up my message, the point is in EDM01, in the basic language course, we had the inventory, and now in the advanced course, we have the local culture profile. So hopefully all of this would be in aid of planning for development. So let me just gloss over this. In the Provincial Tourism Development Plan, Mugpog, Buak, and Gasan would be part of a historical or heritage district zone or town. So it's up to us how to contribute to this aspiration of our province. So good news for everyone in the province of Marinduque. So all of the towns and even the provincial government has a local council for culture and arts. So this is the result of our field research commissioned by the National Commission for Culture and the Arts. So the inventory in this year, 2021, we all have functional LCCA in the municipal and the provincial level. So on that note, I'll skip the presentation and we'll just go back to this a bit later. But I advise you to keep posted in our Facebook page, MSCCA or MSC Kalinangan at Sining for the rest of the activities for our Hearts Fest. Started already last Thursday, the 35th, during the 35th anniversary of EDSA, and we had the launch of the virtual museum and cultural hub yesterday, and today we just had the Pecha Kucha presentation, and later we'll have the CMAP presentation in the Jisho to Chisu, knowing your or our own culture. So I bid everyone good luck, and hopefully we can make use of your pre-cap and cultural mapping forms in the full fruition of our cultural mapping in Gasan and also in the whole province of Marinduque. Okay, so I end there. So we have more time for the presentation. So thank you and good morning to everyone.
Thank you, Sir Randy. At this juncture, we will proceed to the highlight of our program, which is the presentation of the CMAP forms. I know everyone is excited, isn't it, Mama Donna?
Yes, Ma'am Angeline. And this is the lineup for the presentation. The first group to present is the Group 1 for Natural Heritage, followed by Group 2 in their Built Heritage, then Group 3 movable heritage, and lastly, Group 4 for intangible heritage and significant personalities.
Okay, so without further ado, let us witness the presentation of Group 1 for Natural Heritage to be presented by Mrs. Catherine Rodriguez.
Good morning again, everyone. So I have already collated all the presentations. So I will be the one presenting the videos and PowerPoint presentations of the assigned presenter per group. So with that said, allow me to share my screen. Catherine Rodriguez, Group 1.
was declared as protected. The mapping revealed that Marinduque Wildlife Sanctuary was declared as protected area through Proclamation Number 696 Series of 2004, covering 8,827.96 hectares of timberland located at Central Marinduque and Balagbag Range. But in 2018, it was one of the 94 newly legislated protected areas under Republic Act 11038, otherwise known as the Expanded National Integrated Protected Areas System Act of 2018, duly approved by President Rodrigo R. Duterte on June 22, 2018. It has been included as an initial component of the NIPAS Act to assure the national conditions necessary to protect nationally significant species, groups of species, biotic communities, or physical features of the environment. The climate in the area is typical of that of the province. It has mountainous and rugged terrain with long, swift rivers. It is mostly covered by secondary forests, shrubs, bushes, and grasses. Trigger species such as Philippine duck, Philippine cockatoo, and green rocket-tail inhabit the area. It provides direct sources of livelihood in the surrounding communities. Most importantly, it shields the province to typhoons and harsh weather elements, and the beauty of its ecosystem and biodiversity make it an important asset for ecotourism and sustainable development in the province of Marinduque. The Marinduque Wildlife Sanctuary is categorized as NIPAS, or National Integrated Protected Areas System, under the RA 7586 and classified as a bird and wildlife sanctuary. Marinduque Wildlife Sanctuary, or MWS, is located within the geographical coordinates of 13, 25, 30 degrees north latitude and 121, 53, 50 to 122, 01, 50 degrees east longitude. It is comprised of 2 parcels of forest land within the 5 municipalities and 23 barangays. The protected area is bounded on the north by the municipalities of Buwak and Santa Cruz, the municipality of Buenavista on the south, the municipality of Torrijos on the east, and the municipality of Gasan on the west. Parcel 1 is the Balagbag mountain ranges at the southwestern part of Marinduque Island, with the highest peak at its center of 821 meters above sea level. Parcel 2 is at Central Marinduque, highest peak of which is 854 meters above sea level. Based on the legislated protected area in the Philippines, the Marinduque Wildlife Sanctuary is composed of 2 parcels of mountainous terrain covering 9,759.60 hectares of timberland. Pursuant to Proclamation Number 696 Series of 2004, declared protected area in the island province of Marinduque under the category Wildlife Sanctuary is a mountainous terrain of timberland known as Marinduque Wildlife Sanctuary by virtue of Republic Act 7586, or the National Integrated Protected Areas System Act of 1992. The Marinduque Wildlife Sanctuary is generally a mountainous refuge characterized with andesite to basalt flows and agglomerates with minor intercalated clastic, as in the case of the whole island. It has rugged terrain with long swift rivers that includes the Buwak River that traverses along the northeastern boundary Parcel 1. Both Parcels 1 and 2 are steep gorges with deeply entrenched streams and rivers, waterfalls, and few alluvial deposits. The mean annual temperature is 26.6 degrees Celsius. The coolest month is January with a mean temperature of 25.5 degrees Celsius, while the warmest month is May with a mean temperature of 28.3 degrees Celsius. There are 6 major soil types in the Marinduque Wildlife Sanctuary. The Banhigan clay loam is the most dominant soil type in the area, which covers about 4,417.01 hectares or 45% of the total land. This type specifically covers areas in Parcel 1. Next type is hydrosol, consisting of about 2,648.29 hectares or 27.14%. Banto clay loam is the other type of soil in the area, which covers 2,610.60 hectares or 26.75%. Other soil types are Timbu clay, which covers 76.77 hectares, San Miguel sandy loam covering 4.18
It's now
hectares,
11
and Ferron
a.m.
clay covering 1.86 hectares. Notably, 54% of Marinduque Wildlife Sanctuary lies on moderately to steeply mountainous slope. Both Parcels 1 and 2 of the protected area have steep gorges with deeply entrenched streams and rivers, waterfalls, and few alluvial deposits. There are also identified water reservoirs and natural springs. The area, particularly Parcel 2 in central Marinduque, is a source of locally important watersheds which drain into the tributaries of the 5 major water systems in the province that supply the domestic and irrigation needs for water. The watershed areas include Naampias Watershed Forest Reserve, Santa Cruz Community Watershed, Gasan Community Watershed, Buena Vista Community Watershed, and Buwak Watershed. Based on the data gathered during the Resource Basic Inventory or RBI in 2003, the endangered species of flora that were observed at Marinduque Wildlife Sanctuary include apitong, red lawan, white lawan, palusapis, nara, dalingdingan, balong-eta, dawo, and mayapis. These trees are important in the maintenance of the watershed in the MWS. The Marinduque Wildlife Sanctuary is considered to be an important bird area and key biodiversity area due to the presence of trigger species such as Philippine duck, Philippine kakadu, green rocket-tail, and threatened endemic mammals recorded on the site that include the Philippine pygmy fruit bat, southern Philippine nectar bat, and large rufous horseshoe bat. Endemic herpetofauna so far recorded in this IBA are giant Philippine frog and trunky-toed chorus frog. Likewise, the 220 important species of butterflies in this area made Marinduque to be known as the butterfly capital of the Philippines. There are 55 households who are actually residing within the protected area. They had been in the area long before the proclamation of the MWS and continuously occupying, tilting, and developing their lots since then. Marinduque Wildlife Sanctuary has a aesthetic significance because the richness of it on biodiversity and its beautiful scenery with wonderful geological and hydrological features make it a potential major ecotourism destination in the province. The survivals of the wildlife species are dependent on the intact ecosystems of the Marinduque Wildlife Sanctuary and TWFR as their habitat. Programs and projects are strictly implemented to ensure their protection. The threats, including potential threats, have been identified as follows: location at the typhoon belt and earthquake zone, climate change impact, wildlife hunting, gathering of endemic flora species, small-scale logging activities, illegal grazing and pasturing of livestock, kaingin, farming, gold panning or small-scale mining, housing and residential expansion, and building of irrigation systems and mini dams. Issues include LOA issue within protected area, illegal settlers, water resources distribution between barangays, and ownership dispute over land resource among the family members of tenured migrants. Concerns include the following: strict implementation of the ENIPAS Act, strengthening of SEPA, lack of forest protection officers, creation and deputation of WEO, Bantay Gubat, and CPEO, guidelines of implementation of projects, monitoring of the approved activities and projects within the protected area, composition of new PAMB members based on their new IRR of INIPAS, inclusion of new geohazard assessment, capacity building of guides, verification of zones, demarcation of protected areas boundaries. There is a monthly monitoring or patrolling within the protected area through the Lawin Forest and Biodiversity Protection System. Lawin, named after the Philippine hawk eagle, combines science-based planning, user-friendly technology, and indigenous knowledge to protect forests. It watches over natural forests and helps communities and government in their effort to conserve the protected area.
So that's it for Group 1's presentation. We shall now proceed to Group 2's, uh, which will be presented live by Miss Itis Gutierrez. So, Ma'am Itis, are you there? Andyan ka po ba? Yes, thank you po, Group 1.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Rodriguez, for your presentation. Now let us proceed to the presentation. Now let us proceed to the presentation of Group 2, the Built Heritage, to be presented by Miss Itis Gutierrez.
This is the presentation of Group 2 for the Built Heritage during the cultural mapping in the municipality of Gasan. Gasan Municipal Seaport and Community Fish Landing Center. This seaport and community fish landing center is owned by the local government unit of Gasan. This is the front view of Community Fish Landing Center. An ordinance prohibiting skippers and penalizing excessive collection of fees on passengers and cargoes from the share to any ships, loading and unloading in any ship, motorboat lighter, or batya, or bangka engaged in coastwise or inter-island shipping within this municipality. An ordinance prohibiting skippers, patrons, owners, caretakers, laborers, and stevedores to approach and cast their ropes or pasamara to any incoming vessel within the Gasan port when said vessel has not yet anchored and properly staffed in port in May 31, 1949. An ordinance prohibiting anchorage and departure of coastwise and inter-island vessels loading and unloading cargoes and passengers in the outlying sitios, barrios, or places on August 31, 1949. The Gasan Municipal Seaport and Community Fish Landing Center is a port operated by the local government unit of Gasan. This port is accessible for sea-coast ships and providing accommodation for sea-going vessels. It is estimated 3 kilometers away from the town proper. There are motorboats going trip to Mindoro and vice versa, like MB Emerson and MB Regulus, which carry passengers and goods as supplies for the town. Some of these goods were sold in the market, such as rice grains, pulverized palay husk, fruits,
vegetables, and even fresh crustaceans caught in the Lake Nauhan of Mindoro. It was carried by a group of ripped and muscled men called estebador. They carried it all the way from all the passenger and cargo vehicles to distribute goods not only in the town but for the whole part of the province. People living near the area went to the sea to catch fish with the use of bakulong provided with the different fishing materials. This port serves as the fish trapping area in the town. Fishes like tuna, galunggong, lumahan, lagidlid, tambakol, mariles, tamban, and even pusit in Bagulan were caught and sold in the market. The exterior part is good, surrounded by multiple of rocks, pebbles, and residues of coral reefs and seaweeds, while on its interior part it is covered with tie wire and fence to assure the security of the seaport. Walking upstairs of the seaport building, a nice ambience and color of the ocean will be seen. There is rooftop where people dry their fish to longer the life of their goods. Passengers pay their tickets to the collector and buy some fermented fish and sauce as their pasalubong for their loved ones. Gasan Seaport and Community Fish Landing Center served as connection for the neighboring province of Mindoro, where barter of goods is religiously done. According to informant Mr. Ricardo Romero Comia, the old collector and checker, people long time ago rode in a batil or lancha to deliver and export goods in Mindoro. They sailed in the sea for about a day. This port served as a place for arrival and departure of goods over the years. According to informant Barangay Kagawad Corazon Soberano Baluyot, there was a lady wearing white gown roaming around the seaport during full moon and sits on a dock dike near the port. There was also a 10-year-old child who drowned in the storm surge because of typhoon. This port and community fish landing center gives income not only to the local government unit but for the people living near the port. Colorful building and community landing center serves as a place for physical fitness and dance practice area for all. People exchange their goods in Mindoro where they build rapport and trust with each other. This port serves as fish trapping area in the town long time ago. The Port and Community Fish Landing Center is in good condition, painted in blue that attracts the eye, and even in the upper part of the building is spotless. Gasan Municipal Port and Fish Landing renovated last 2015. Painted in other metallic colors to make it attractive and stunning. Some unemployed youth
Ma'am MCs, that's the end for Group 2's presentation.
Thank you, Group 2, for your presentation. Now let us witness the presentation of
the
the
movable
movable
heritage
heritage
category
category
of
of
Group
Group
3
3
to
to
be
be
presented
presented
by
by
Mr.
Mr.
Limar
Limar
Joy
Joy
Olivar.
Olivar.
Sir Limar, excuse po. Medyo static and robotic po yung sound po ninyo.
Wait lang.
Sige po, sir.
Hello sir, naririnig na po ba?
Yes, sir. Okay na po. Mahina
Okay,
na po.
sige po. Okay. So, National Commission for Culture and the Arts, Subcommission on Cultural Heritage, Cultural Mapping Program. Ngayong Marso 2021, ipiniriwang ng buong Pilipinas ang ikalimandahang taon ng Kristyanismo na dinala ng mga Espanyol. Dala-dala ng mga Espanyol ang iba't ibang pamana na sa ngayon ay ating tinataglay at isinasabuhay. Hindi maikakaila na ang mga bagay na ito ay nananatiling buhay at naging saksi sa loob ng 500 taon. Kaya nga, bilang bahagi ng pamanang ito, nais kong ibahagi sa inyo ang isa sa mga naging pamana sa simbahan, ang isang religious object mula sa bayan ng Gasan. So ang object na ito ay pinangalan ng resurrection. So ito ay matatawag nating isang uri ng sculpture na nililok. Ang imaheng ito ay ginagamit o nagmula sa Roman Catholic Church na makikita sa St. Joseph Spouse of Mary Parish sa bayan ng Gasan. So ang imaheng ito ay produce noong 1921, 1920 at ngayong 2021 ay siya ngayon ay 100 years na mula nang ito ay ginawa. So ang imahe ng resurrection ay ang nagmamay-ari ay si Engineer Eleuterio Salvo and family. Nasa kasalukuyan ay nasa ibang bansa na ngayon na ang rekamadera o tagapangalaga ng imahen ay wala pong iba kundi si Mrs. Norma Felix. So si Mrs. Norma Felix ay ina ng isa sa mga pari ng diocese, wala pong iba kundi si Father Bernard Felix. So ang imaheng ito ay binili mula sa Maynila noong 1920 sapagkat ang pamilyang Salvo ay may malalim na pananampalataya lalo't higit bilang isang Katoliko. Para kay Mrs. Norma Felix, ito ay nagpapakita ng malalim na debosyon lalo't higit kay Kristo na ating Panginoon at bilang isang Katoliko. So ang imahe ng resurrection, kung ating ilalarawan, ito ay may 4 feet tall and 1 foot wide sculpture made out of wood. It is holding an 4.5 feet cross made out of stainless steel, adorned with 1.5 feet long wavy brown hair and a crown also made of stainless steel wrapped with white cloth. Accordingly, the purchase of the religious item was purely due to the Salvos family's devotion as Roman Catholics. It was purchased somewhere in Manila around 1920s and was later brought in Marinduque and was blessed. Norma Felix, the family's caretaker, took over the care of the resurrection ever since the entire Salvo family migrated to Manila at that time, and now sila po ngayon ay nasa ibang bansa na. So it is being used during the salubong, during the Lenten season in the municipality of Gasan. As mentioned above, the purchase of the religious object was purely due to the family's devotion as Roman Catholic. It was a practice before to own such religious object to show your commitment to the church. It is also to instill a religious belief to the family's children, hoping that it will be passed on their future generation. To own such object also indicates having high social status. The religious object was purchased by the Salvo family to symbolize the strong religious belief. The resurrection symbolizes Jesus returning from the death. This signifies new hope, new start. Due to Mrs. Felix's old age, it is already difficult for her to maintain the resurrection in good condition, especially that she is having a hard time moving around. Maintaining such religious object also needs a generous amount of money, which is also a challenge. It is being used during religious events in the district of Gaza, especially during Easter Sunday, where the salubong is being done accompanied with the sayaw ng pagbati. The Lord is risen. Alleluia, alleluia. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sir Limar. Ma'am MCs, you may now.
Thank, thank you for a nice presentation, Mr. Olivar. And for our last presentation, let us witness the Group 4 for their intangible heritage, significant personalities to be presented by Miss Lowelyn Peña Redonda.
Ma'am, parang wala ata po si ma'am, ano?
Wait lang po, sir. I will be presenting your video po. Group 4's video. Please wait a while I'm fixing some issues po. This will take about a minute po. Thank you.
So while waiting, I have prepared a short video. So let me just share this with you.
Ibong nagbabalik sa pugad na pinagmulan. Ang tulad kong minsay napalayo sa sariling bayan, at muling maglalalakad sa mga lansangan. Pagmasdan ang inang kalikas, ang duyan ng pangarap kong mabuhay. Ang inyong inuming laas na ang ubas, talang ang sa akin ay bagong hukas. Hindi kataka-taka kung wala makitang bunga.
Sir Bean, may backup ako dito, nasa cellphone, ng video.
Sige po sir, bigyan po kita ng co-host privileges, tas ikaw na lang po mag-share.
Okay lang sir, try ko lang kung gagana din dito.
Sige po sir.
Nandito na rin po si Ma'am Glowelyn. So kung sino man po, kasi last na group na to.
Okay po sir, co-host na po ikaw. You may now share your screen po.
Wait lang Sir Vince, wala din.
Dito na.
Sige sir, ikaw na lang sir.
Sige po sir, salamat.
Welcome to the Municipality of Gasan.
Mga kababayan!
Wish
Turn up!
1075.
Tayo Pilipino, kahit anong kulay ng balat, isa sa puso. Mapatagalog, Bisaya o Ilocano, walang tatalo sa bagsik ng ating tugo. Isigaw ng
Arts.
Paghihigit o paglalala ng nito. Ang paghihigit o paglalala ng nito ay isang uri ng hanap buhay ng mga taga Marinduque. Ang mga materialis na kinakailangan dito ay akayan o tinatawag ding kawayan at nito. Ang proseso ng paggawa nito ay binibiyakan nito, inaalis sa mga buto at buko at alibutod nito. Ibinibilad ito ng banayad, di masyadong tuyo sa araw at pagkatapos maaari nang simulan ang pagpipigit.
Performing Arts.
Tatlong hari is a kind of drama. This tradition is passed on to memorize scripts given to them. The scripts used in this play is said to be made Father Reverend Renato Spungan, the parish priest of Saint Joseph, spouse of Mary. Mr. Nestor Sales has been the lead actor on this play. He's been acting since 1991. At the age of 56, he is still performing these acts as well as the so-called pugutan during the Lenten season. Alamat ng dalawang puting gansa. Ang puting gansa is a folk song originated from Barangay Tigyon, Gasan, Marinduque. It was sung by the elderly when they are having fun while drinking tuba or coconut wine. The meaning of the lyrics is all about courting and merrymaking. It was also being sung by their ancestors in their locality whenever they're having fun. Thus, the folk song has no author. It has been already validated by the experts from different music conservatory. Dr. Rex Emmanuel L. Asuncion made the arrangement of the song, and then he shared the song to the town cultural or tourism office for documentation and authorship. Kalutang playing. Kalutang are identical pairs of wood from the Tuatingan and Bayug trees, endemic to Marinduque, which, when bound together, produce notes of definite pitches and tonal quality. Kalutang, especially in the town of Gasan, has been associated with the Moriones of yesteryears. The town's Moriones roamed the town streets banging their kalutang instrument to draw attention.
Knowledge about nature and universe.
In the rural areas, the albularyos are the general practitioners, the primary dispensers of health care. Miss Maria Tesore Quijano has been an albularyo and at the same time doing a hilot which heals every individual who went to her house. She inherited it from her father and now helps in their place through her magic healing. While Tawak or Tandok, Mr. Edgar Similia, the Magtatawak and Mananandok claimed to cure animal bites through sucking the venom or rabies on the affected area. With the use of alcohol, cotton, blade, and lighter, Mananandok perform a ventosa-like procedure and ritual to remove venom.
Social practice.
Alba is ritual practices used while transferring from old house to new house of the family. It is being done at 4 o'clock in the morning associated with a song and prayer. They do believe that it brings fortune and good luck in life. It is also associated with transferring of salt, rice, sugar, water, and the last to enter the new house is a sleeping mat. Pagtatawas attempts to diagnose an affliction by interpreting shapes produced in water by heated alum or molten wax droppings from burning candle, while pagsasaklab is another practice even during the ancient times. They believe that illness came from often one of the several endogenous forces. Dwarfs, demons, or other malevolent spirits. Pataraka. Christ was already dead. Bamboo clapper is used as an instrument in making loud sound. They believed that pataraka also pushed away bad luck. Festivals. Gasang-Gasang Festival is a yearly colorful Easter Sunday festival in the town of Gasan, province of Marinduque. It is in a celebration of the origin of the town, Gasan, which came from the term gasang-gasang, a type coral that used to be seen around the town shoreline. This was started through the leadership of Mayor Vicky Laulim and initiated with Gasquaf through Dr. Rex Emmanuel L. Asuncion and Camp. While Moriones Festival is known nationwide, especially on Holy Week. The Moriones refers to the mask and costume penitents who march around the town for 7 days searching for Longinos. This is a folk religious festival that reenacts the story of Saint Longinus, a Roman centurion who was blind in one eye.
Traditional craftsmanship.
According to Mr. Serafin Labores Guevara, woodworking in Antipolo, Gasan, Marinduque started in 1991. Wood carving is a made-to-order basis. Most of the common orders are related to religious work of art such as Santo, Santa, and Moriones icon.
Cultural personalities.
Dr. Celso J. Guevara Jr. Mrs. Eleanor Arevalo Moring. Asuncion A. Perez. Attorney Mamerto S. Asuncion. Aurora Elvira Gayoso Sevilla. And our cultural institution, GASQUA, Gasan Culture and Arts Association. Gasan Culture and Arts Association started in 2001. At first, it was known for GASQUAF, which means Gasan Culture and Arts Foundation, because it comes registering it to securities and exchange information or add problem. The group
Are we done with the last group on intangible cultural heritage? So I think you're already with the personalities and institutions. Sige, please continue.
of this institution are Mayor Victoria Lim, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the said institution. The aims of the institution are to preserve, to promote, and to develop culture to be known not only from different part of the province and country but also worldwide. The institution is the one who organized Gasang-Gasang Easter Sunday Festival, Ginoo at Binibining Gasan, which are the prime activities of the said association. They also preserve Kalutang, Putong, Pataraka, Pupuwa, and others that is related to culture and arts. And those are intangible heritages. According to Ruby Robertson, you don't stumble upon your heritage. It's there, just waiting to be explored and shared. Till our next exploration!
Since we are done with the group presentations, we will now have a short intermission.
Good afternoon, everyone. I know everyone is hungry, so to energize our mind and our body of culture and to have more positive vibes, I'm inviting you or everyone to turn your camera on, stand up, and follow the steps as we dance and support the NCCA Unity Dance. So I'm hoping for your participation.
Let's connect.
Okay, please turn
Let's
on your
dance,
camera.
radiate peace and unity across cultures and nations. Let's connect, let's celebrate. Be part of this movement of unity through dance.
Sumasayaw ang langit habang lupa'y umaawit. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sumasayaw ang langit habang lupa'y umaawit.
Sumayaw, kumita at gumalaw. Tayo na ang sumayaw, kumita at gumalaw. Tayo na ang sumayaw, kumita
Ma'am MCs, okay na po?
Thank you so much, ma'am. So moving right along, it is now my pleasure to introduce our guest, former assistant to the college president, focal person of MSc OQAAE, ISO certification head, MSc BAC secretariat, TWG member, MSc BAC instructor at the School of Technology at Marinduque State College. Let us all welcome Mr. Christopher J. Rivestwal.
Good afternoon. Can everyone hear me well?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
Yes, sir.
before I share my thoughts, I would like to congratulate everyone for even for a short time you had prepared good videos and you're able to pursue and get a taste of cultural mapping. And aside from that, of course, learning the Japanese language, which is part of the culture of another country. Now, why do we do cultural mapping and what is its relevance? You might be wondering. Well, this is my take. It is very important for us to discover various cultures. As such, influence almost everything in us, directly or indirectly as individuals. Culture drives the direction of a community and eventually the nation, which in turn contributes to world culture. Culture is an adventure towards discovery. Cultural mapping, on the other hand, provides an integrated picture of the cultural character, significance, and works of a place in order to help communities recognize, celebrate, and support cultural diversity for economic, social, and regional development. Why is it important? Cultural mapping has been recognized by UNESCO as a crucial tool and technique in preserving the world's intangible and tangible cultural assets. Therefore, this is not just a local endeavor, but a global one. Why so? It is because the elements, objects, and even people that we include in the mapping are treasures of the nation and race. We do cultural mapping not just for our generation today, but most importantly, for the generations to come. Exploring first our own culture through cultural mapping opens up opportunities for all of us to expand our learnings and discover stories that envelop certain phenomena embedded in each of the cultural elements that we are mapping, whether natural or man made. In either of the two, natural or man made, we can comprehensively understand the marvels wrapping a certain place or a certain object. There are a lot of related stories intertwined with the elements that we are considering that basically depict sentiments, love, valor, faith, value, and even kababalaghans. In the beginning, one may not be able to appreciate the task at hand of pursuing cultural mapping since most may think and say, "Nako, ano na naman ba itong gagawin natin? Bakit ba may ganyan pa? Ay baka magka-COVID tayo niyan." I would bet that most of you have such thoughts before, during, and even after you have done the task. However, maybe now that you have already done it, you might have a different perspective of it. The experiences alone had definitely taught you a lot in various aspects or facets. Even your outlook now might have already turned to be more appreciative of the things around us, which may have already basically set your personal influences. Thus, honing each one of us to become more informed, knowledgeable, and curious. Being an informed and knowledgeable individual fuels curiosity, which tends to lead to another journey and adventure to discover more. Now, here in Gasan, as mentioned earlier by um, Dr. Noblesa, we have started pursuing our cultural mapping here, and we are targeting that by around the end of April or the end of May, we will already have our documentation, our full documentation. So I'm encouraging everyone to, especially most of you are teachers, to join such undertakings because it would really improve your perspective. It would give you more ideas. And as teachers, definitely, when you're inside the classroom, you will be able to tell a lot. You will be able to extend your discussion to a deeper level. Okay, so with that, keep pursuing adventures through cultural mapping in order to keep discovering. Good morning, everyone.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bestual, for sharing your meaningful and inspiring thoughts.
As a sign of our appreciation for your time and effort, let us give the certificate of appreciation.
Appreciation.
Thank you, Sir
Thank you,
Rebistual.
Sir
Thank
Rebistual.
you.
Let me read the content of the certificate. Republic of the Philippines, Marinduque State College, Tansabuc, Marinduque, Culture and Arts, MSCCA, is Sir Christopher Bestual. Again, of the certificate, Republic of the Philippines, Marinduque State College, Tansabuc, Marinduque, Culture and Arts, MSCCA. This certificate of appreciation is given to Mr. Christopher J. Rebistual in grateful acknowledgement of his invaluable service rendered as guest during the culminating activity of EDM02 Advanced Tipongo, thereby contributing immeasurably to the prestige and success of the activity. Given this 27th of February 2021 via Zoom conference, signed by Mr. Vince Justin Roland S. Madriaga, LPT, Program Coordinator, Foreign Language 2 Culminating Activity, and Dr. Randy T. Nobleza, PhD, Associate Professor 1, Foreign Language 2, Director, MSc Centro na Wika at Kultura.
Thank you.
Ano ba sunod?
May we request the group on documentation to facilitate the group picture taking?
Hello po. Good morning po. Mag-photo op po muna kita. Paki-open po ang ating camera. Ayan po, dito po muna tayo sa una. Ayan. 1, 2, 3. Ay, wait lang. Okay, yan. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, wait lang po. Ayan, so next slide po kita. 1, 2, 3, smile. Ayan, okay na po.
Okay, thank you, Miss Ayla, for that. And before we end the set of presentation about Gasan cultural mapping, so I'd like to also acknowledge, just like the last meeting that we had. So this is a breakthrough in our course since 2019. I've been promoting Japanese studies in the Philippines, and this is a reality that we already have a presenter and a participation. So congratulations to our student, Miss Ayla Malubag, for having accepted, and she's going to present on the 6th of March. So please show support by um, joining and witnessing the third panel on language, culture, and society by March 6. So Miss Ayla has has been accepted, and she's going to present during the third Japanese Studies in the Philippines National Conference. So good luck, and may you win a place so that you'd be an inspiration to other students who are taking up foreign language in Japanese. So again, my congratulations, best regard, and may other students emulate your effort. So congratulations and best of luck.
Thank you so much po. Thank you po.
So some more announcement before we head for lunch. So I already presented the video about our activity, which started last Thursday, and we're about to end by tomorrow. I'd like also to acknowledge Miss Haluthot, because her great-grandfather, Mr. Kiko Labay, would be launching his book by tomorrow, and I hope we can present this book as a token of our appreciation. So in celebration of the National Arts Month, and I'm just going to show you the copy of the book. So at least just the preliminaries. Miss Desan, can you send the message to Lolo Kiko that we've already fulfilled the long dream of our local historian? So we're going to bear witness to his contribution to local history, culture, and society. So thank you also to MSc Culture and Arts and the MSc Litera Club as well. So this is the book. So I did the introduction. So this is the table of contents, the historical sources, and the bio note of the author. So thank you very much for bearing with us this morning. So you've already done your share, so I just wait for your proceedings. So please include the documentation for today. So may I also request Mr. Madriaga to end the live stream And also thank you to Mr. Montemayor for lending his premium Zoom account for this.